Welcome to episode 2 of our TRAUMPOD podcast. That's what it's called now. It does have a name this week, and thanks for all the positive feedback we got on the video last Sunday. We're going to keep making these once a week. So today we wanted to look at equipment, and we've had a few questions about what equipment we've bought along the way, and it's fair to say that we're pretty well prepared, I think. Like, we spent about 2 years really researching what we should buy.
Well, you did all the research for me, really.
And then we told Aaron after 2 years.
It's nice and easy, I just had to get the credit card out.
Yeah, that is true. But we've got some really good stuff, and we want to go through our top 7 items that we take travelling with us.
So the number 1 piece of equipment we want to talk about today is our inReach Mini 2, which is a satellite phone by Garmin. And we thought long and hard about whether we should get a satellite phone, because we thought, oh, most places will have phone service and it will be fine. But actually thinking about the places we travel, we go really off-grid sometimes, and even we've just been on a hike today, and having the satellite phone has been really good. It can track like your waypoints so you don't get lost. You can, with the subscription, you can have different levels. We've got the one where you can send preset text messages to friends and family so they know you're safe, they know where you are. You can send your sort of location as well, and it's just a good kind of safety blanket to have, I think, especially the SOS function, which works anywhere in the world. Even if you don't have any phone service, you just press a little button on the side, and then it calls SOS services for you via the kind of Garmin central office, I guess.
Yeah, well, it uses the Iridium satellite network, which is spans the whole world. It's used by military, it's used by huge companies, and it allows us to sort of tap into that a little bit. And I think when you go overlanding, it's very easy to forget that some of the places we're going to are quite off the beaten track. And if you get into trouble, and you always aim not to, right? But if you get into trouble and you find yourself in a situation where you need help, then you know that you've always got that big red button to press, and someone's going to come looking for you. Yeah, don't know exactly when, but they will reach out and they will send someone to come get you, and you've got that satellite pinpointed location of exactly where you are anywhere in the world.
And you also get a confirmation message, and they communicate with you if you had pressed that button, so you know that someone is actually coming, which is good. Yeah,
and equally for friends and family, like when we're out and about, you can just drop a message through just to let them know that you're alright.
Yeah, still alive and still there. I think particularly for my parents, they're happy that they're able to, by a quick click of a button, even when we're in the middle of nowhere like we are now, they can quickly just get confirmation that we're still there, we're still kicking. And
well, that's what's cool about it, because not only is it this piece of equipment here, but you can also link it to the app on your phone. So I don't know if you've seen this yet.
No, I haven't actually. No.
You can get our parents or a chosen member of the family that's sort of watching out for you, they can look on an app and they can see where you are in real time, or at least with regular updates, so they can keep an eye on what's going on, and you don't have to necessarily send a text every 5 minutes, but they can know that you're safe and still moving about. Yeah,
so it's definitely a good one, and you don't need to get the mega expensive subscription. I think the preset basic one does the job for us. There's other satellite phones that you can make calls with as well, but at that point it just gets really, really expensive. So we're quite happy with this one, and it's small and compact, so you can fit it anywhere.
Yeah, and it's really hard wearing as well. Like, I don't know if that shows when we'll put some close-ups up of it, but this is really tough stuff, waterproof. You drop it a few times, it's not going to come to any harm.
Not like your average iPhone.
Not like although I've thrown my iPhone around a bit, and it still seems to be working 3 years in, and that's pretty strong. Right, so number 2 is our Joolca hot water system, and that's Joolca. Is that right?
Yeah.
Look them up because they are fantastic. We thought long and hard about how we were going to get hot water on the move. We looked at options like building it into the car itself, some more expensive sort of standalone options, and you're always talking hundreds, if not 1,000 or more pounds to get something like that. And we're like, okay, we're traveling for a year, we want the hot water, but it's not worth that much to us. So what we bought is the Joolca hot water system, and it comes in a big box, and we'll put the footage up on screen now.
Joolca HOTTAP.
Joolca HOTTAP is the one that it's called. And I think we do have one of the highest levels of. I think you can buy like 2 or 3 different levels, and we've got the one that comes with pretty much everything.
Yeah. So there's 3 levels, and the most sort of advanced, the one with the most equipment, is called the HOTTAP Nomad, and that's the one we've got. So it comes with a bunch of various hose pipes to attach to the shower, but it's also got like a splitter system, so it all comes in a big box, and the box functions as a sink. A sink as well, and you can use the shower and the sink at the same time. It has a pump, so if we're parked next to a river or a lake somewhere, we can just stick a hose pipe in, and then the pump is connected to that, and it just kind of pulls the water through the little boiler system and heats that, and we've got pretty much infinite water at that point.
Hot water.
Hot water,
yeah.
Yes.
No, it's effectively like a little mini boiler that you carry around with you. And the biggest and best thing about it, so it's fantastic, it does the job, it's great, it's good quality, fits compactly. And most importantly, I think, I don't want to quote exactly what the price was, but it was in the mid hundreds of pounds, like 300, 400, something like that, which sounds like a lot, but when you're comparing it to sort of a hardwired £1,000 system, you know, that's nothing.
Yeah.
But it's brilliant. Like, it's so compact. It all fits within the sink. The little like sink. It's like a box kind of thing. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I haven't personally. Well, we used it once. I used it once. I think you used it a few more times. I seem to be storing it, but that's fine. It's quite small, but
fits in the car.
It looks great though. We tried it out when it was really cold in winter in the UK.
We did.
We ran it for a bit longer than we wanted. Well, we should have done, because it was so nice and warm.
Yeah, it's just lovely to have hot water, and particularly you find yourself.
It's that backup, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the first thing on our list is our water filtration system. So this comes in a few different things. So one of them is our LifeStraws. So we all have one of these. It's a little water bottle, LifeStraw.
Ours is small.
Yes, I have a smaller one, 650 millilitres. I think yours is like a litre.
A litre.
Yeah, a litre.
So it's a bit bigger. Does the same job though, slightly different volume. But these are absolutely brilliant. Been a lifesaver.
Hey.
That was terrible.
Also, you're matching your bottle.
So we've been taking these everywhere. So we're in the centre of Belgrade, in the mountains here, literally everywhere, and it's brilliant because you don't have to buy bottled water. Instead of paying 50 cents or something.
Yeah, water's not expensive, right? But when you're buying like maybe 5-10 litres a day between us, it adds up.
It adds up really quickly.
Also, space. Buying these like 5-10 litre plastic container things.
Yeah.
You have to put them somewhere, even when they're empty, and they just take up so much space, especially if you know you're going off grid for a bit, and then you've got like 40 litres worth of containers in the back of your car.
Yeah.
It's just
and I think it's where we're like planning as well. Like everything in our car has its own space.
Yeah.
So before we got these, we were finding you're buying different sized bottles each time. Like some are great, we can find the big 10 litre ones, but it's then like, well, they don't really have a space in the car, so they're just laying everywhere.
Yeah. Well, these, they fit in your cubby holes, fit in your cup holders.
That'll be the one, mate.
Yeah. Fit in the cup holders. You just fill them up from a stream or there's lots of, in Bosnia, there's a lot of taps just in villages.
Yeah, they're like sort of ground, water comes up from the ground, doesn't it? So,
so we just fill these up from there from time to time.
And invariably the water could be very drinkable, but also you're just ensuring and giving yourself that safety net.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of confidence really, that it's going to be safe to drink.
Yeah, exactly. So the second part of our water filtration system is the ALP filter system, and yes, the LifeStraws are great when we're on the go, but just to cook and camp and wash up and all of that, we still use our big water tanks that we've got in the car, and to fill those up we would have the same problem of having the sort of big water containers if we bought them. So this is a perfect solution that we can fill up these big tanks also anywhere we go. We can use the pump as well from the Joolca to get water out of any lakes or rivers, but also we can just attach the hose that comes with this filter to any taps that we find in any villages or any campsites or anywhere really. And it essentially has two kind of aluminium housings that combine together like this, and in one of them it has the carbon filter, so that's similar to the one in the LifeStraw that just takes out all bad tastes and anything like that. So that's called the active filter, and the second one is the nano filter, which takes out any bacteria and sedimentary things and anything like that. So those two working together essentially bring us the best quality water that we can get on the go. And it comes with a bunch of different attachments that are in the other bag. So we also bought the hose attachment system because it's just easier to kind of attach it to anywhere, and we don't have to be right next to the tap if we want to get water that way. And it comes with a bunch of different attachments for various types of taps, but just in case one doesn't fit, we also got this, which is a water thief, and essentially if this is the tap, you kind of just put it on and snap it on there, and then you can put any kind of conventional hose pipe on the back of it. And the hose pipe looks like that. I'm not going to get the whole thing out, but it's pretty long, and it's food graded as well, so it's really good quality, and we got a bunch of replacement filters for that as well, and so far we've used it a handful of times, but we've been really happy. It's very easy to set up. You kind of just put it all together, attach it, and you've got clean water.
Yeah.
So really happy with that.
It's fairly new. I mean, it's a recent sort of addition to our equipment. The further we get away from Europe, I think the more and more we'll be using it.
Yeah, it complements the LifeStraw quite well, I think.
Yeah, absolutely, and you get that balance.
You know, water is one of the things you're always going to need on
if you've got
to live.
If you've got clean water, you'll largely be okay.
Yeah,
that's the one thing to make sure. No, we're really happy with that, and obviously we'll put a link in the description to
for all the things, really.
all the products that we showed today.
Yeah, and it comes in a nice little case, which is always good for storage.
Number 4 is the JetBoil, and the JetBoil is an excellent piece of kit. In fact, I think it's probably one of the first things we got from this list.
After some convincing.
Yeah.
So when we first went
I know what story this
camping
is going to be.
or overlanding, we went on like an off-road tour in Wales, and we had this 12-volt kettle with us because Thomas thought that was a fantastic idea
Electric
to use
kettle.
that. Yes. And when we got up in the morning, everyone else was making their coffees and teas with the JetBoil, and they were done in 2 minutes, and we were still sat there in 25 minutes later waiting for our water to boil in this kettle. So it became a bit of a running joke in that group that we always had to get up earlier or leave later because we had to wait for our kettle.
I remember the first time I visited you guys with all the camping gear, and you actually run the engine to run the kettle. So having a V8 boil your kettle is not the most efficient way, or
most cost-efficient way, is it?
Not the most cost-effective way of boiling a kettle.
No,
it ran flat the battery a couple times.
Anyway,
back to the JetBoil.
That was what we had before,
Yes.
so we decided, okay, we need to buy a JetBoil. It's effectively a self-contained pot for boiling water. So how you do it, you just take the bottom and it all comes
or
together
heating
like
any
that.
soups or anything
Well,
like
heating any
that.
soups, yeah, exactly. And it you pop a little portable gas canister on there, so it's like that you buy in any sort of camping shop. You pop that on the bottom, you put that at the top, and you fill that with up to 500 ml, half a litre of water, and it will boil that in about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
If that, I think 90 seconds. Something along those lines.
Yeah.
It's
We use it
fantastic.
every day.
Don't you have one as well?
I also have one as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little less used than yours, but.
Well, that's because you use ours all the time.
But we use it every morning. Like we use it to boil water to wash up. It's out multiple times a day.
Yeah, and you can even use it to drink out of. Like if you wanted to have a soup or drink in that, it's got a top on there, and you can drink straight out of the cup if you're just yourself. It's super portable, so whether you're overlanding or whether you're just camping and you have it in the bottom of your rucksack, you can just pop it straight out and use it. Even the little gas canisters that you can get for when you're just backpacking, they're tiny, like this kind of thing. Like we use a slightly bigger one because we've got the space and we want it to sort of last, but
I think the small one, JetBoil sells one that actually I think fits into the
fits inside there.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got the kind of more basic model, so to ignite ours we actually need to use a lighter or match or something, but they also have a fancier version where at the bottom where you kind of regulate the gas, there's also a little like
spark
thing, so it just ignites itself, which is a bit more expensive but is a nice luxury to have, I guess, but we've been happy with it.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I have by not having that is sort of running around going, oh, where's the lighter? Where's the Where's the match? But that's fantastic, and without
Must have.
to be honest, pretty much everyone that we've been travelling with, when we've gone on trips just in the UK, when we've met people out here, everyone's had a JetBoil.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. You should get one. If anything out of this list, I'd say it's probably one of the first things you should get.
Yeah, definitely.
Relatively inexpensive, and it's so nice when it's, particularly in the UK, it's a cold day, just a cold morning, just woken up, a nice coffee, hot coffee or cup of tea, just what you need to start your day. And
It
this
really
is a
makes you feel a
perfect,
bit
easy
better.
way of doing that.
Yeah, and you could argue, who needs all these luxuries? But actually, it really makes you feel a lot better in the morning if you're getting that hot coffee, having that hot tea, and then it means that your day's going to have a little bit more of a positive kick to it from day one. Yeah, good start to the day. So we love it.
So number 5 on our list is the Trasharoo, which is very attached to our car, so we don't have it in shot here, but we'll put some pictures in that you know what it looks like. And basically it's a bag that attaches to your spare wheel on the back of your car, so we've got one on each car, and the inside is lined with plastic, and it's a really good place to kind of like put any rubbish you have, or even any laundry, or if you, for example, go surfing or something, you can put a wet wetsuit.
A wet wetsuit.
A wet wetsuit in there.
It would be a wet wetsuit.
And it doesn't have to go in your car, or if you're traveling for a couple of days or longer term, or if it's hot, then you have a smelly rubbish bag in your car. It's not great. So having it outside your car is great. Keeping it off the ground is also good to keep animals away and stuff.
Yeah, and ants.
And ants, yeah. And if your rubbish escapes, then you can just hose it down on the inside, because it's got 2 holes and the plastic just repels the water.
Yeah, so it drains out of the bottom. Yeah, I mean, we always had that problem. We used to just do, put your rubbish in your bin bag, and you're wild camping somewhere. Obviously, you want to make sure you're clean, you're keeping the campsite clean, tidying up after yourself, and then you're obviously putting the rubbish in your car and taking it away. You're driving down the track, and you're like,
What's
sniffing
that?
a little bit. What's that? Yeah, and it's not nice. Rubbish you want it on the outside of your vehicle if you can. It's a relatively inexpensive way of allowing
it's
that.
quite cheap. I mean, I got mine on the recommendation Top and Poly, and I use it every day.
Well, you put your washing in yours, don't you?
I use it for laundry, because you have the bin for us, so
Yeah,
I have
my
welcome.
it's absolutely brilliant. I mean, it's great that it's waterproof as well. We had a few really rainy days, and everything inside was kept perfectly dry.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, no, it's a great one to have, and it's also got some pockets around the outside as well. So if there's anything else, we used it for like
got
fuel
funnel,
hoses and funnel when we didn't. It's something you don't want to have in the car. Anything that's kind of smelly or oily or something like that, you can just tuck it in a rag and put it in there, and it's much better than having it inside.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so number 6 on our list is our battery box system. So this is our EcoFlow River Pro, and this is a 720 watt hour battery system. And on here we've got all sorts of USB sockets. You've got USB-C, USB-A, and also you have domestic socket as well. So you can charge in both DC and AC, and you can do it at the same time. And being 720 watts, it's quite a large battery. So it's relatively heavy, quite. Not too bulky, but
Not
quite
as heavy as an AGM battery.
Not at all, no. I mean, 35 kilos compared to what, like 5 kilos or something? Less than that?
And you should point out that that's a lithium battery.
Yeah, it's a lithium battery system, and you can charge it through the mains, and it's a quick charge. I think it's about an hour to charge it.
Hour and a half.
Was it an hour and a half?
Yeah.
Hour and a half.
But compared to some competitors that take 6-7 hours at least to charge fully on the mains, that was one of the things that convinced us to get this one. Just because it's so quick and easy, you can do it anywhere. Like if you're at camp somewhere, we're leaving now, the battery box needs some charging.
Give it a bit of juice,
Pop it in.
It's absolutely brilliant, and having the AC sockets as well. So if there's anything that you couldn't quite get a DC charger for, like we charge our toothbrushes from it, in AC
all the time.
Yeah.
You could charge laptops, phones, cameras. Like we use it a lot for all that kind of stuff, and also we have an additional secondary battery. So it connects to this one. That one's 600 watt hours, I think. It means that you can have, 1,300 watt hours of electricity at your fingertips, and it's so easy and compact. You've got solar input. You've got just pretty much everything you'll need. 12 volt car sockets. It's so versatile. Like sometimes we charge it if the car batteries are quite fully charged. We're doing a long drive. I'll just switch out the MC4 plugs and charge this off the solar panel of my car or your car. Just having that versatility and having the power ready available to you when you're at a campsite in the middle of nowhere, if you're wild camping, it's just so nice to have. Really.
Yeah. And you can take it anywhere as well. Like if you're camping somewhere and you think, oh, this is a nice space, like down at the beach, or maybe on a campsite and there's Wi-Fi only near a building or something, you just take that and you go with your laptop and you can work from anywhere, which has been really good. So you're not like attached to the car all the time.
Yeah, and to give you some sense of scale, like when that's fully charged and you charge like your phone off it or something like that, it uses like what 1-2% or something like that.
Yeah.
It's a huge battery, and it's also expandable with another one as well.
Yeah.
So, and you know, in theory, if the company came out with like even bigger ones in the future, you could plug those in as well with the expandability on it.
They do have a bigger one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
really.
which is like, I mean, it's less portable, so it's meant to be like a backup for power cuts and things at home. It's like this big. But obviously for having it in the car, that's way too big. But that gives you like way more power. So if you think you need more than that, there's options.
Yeah, and we've looked around at other battery boxes. In fact, we have one of the sort of off-brand cheaper ones that we bought from Amazon, a while ago, a couple of years ago now, and it's a bit cheaper, it's a bit smaller capacity, but actually it's getting worse and worse and losing performance quickly. Like one of the things I really like about this is how reliable it is.
Yeah.
You hit that switch, it goes beep, and then it's power instantly, and it's never let us down.
With the one you've got, like we plug stuff in, turned it on, and then after half an hour it just turns off.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
Whereas this, you press the on button, it'll be on for as long as something is connected or you turn it off.
It's a quality product.
Definitely.
Yeah, very
definitely. Good. Thank you. It saved us many times.
Yeah.
Okay, number 7 is the very chair that I'm sat on, and these are fantastic. Like this is, you can see that we've got 3 here. We love these products. I think we bought 2 of these originally, and then you were like, "What chair would you buy?" And to be honest, there's no question. Like this is the one to go for, and this is the front runner direct chair. It's good for up to 120 kilos, I think. So you know, there's plenty of space on it. It's a nice wide fitting chair, and it's just fantastically comfortable. What I've found with a lot of camping chairs is you kind of like sag down in them and you get really sore back really quickly.
Yeah.
And you're spending a lot of time in these chairs at camp, whether it's you're doing work, you're relaxing, you're reading, you're doing whatever. You're always sat in these chairs. And for me, it's so important to have great support, really good seating position, and good storage on the sides of the chair as well. Most importantly of all though, it's how they fold up and how easily it is to pack and store them away. So you literally just fold it flat like that, drop it down, pop the top over like that, and then you've got a fully folded section of the chair, and that fits straight into a case. We've got a place in the car and they just slide in like that. That's the most important thing for me. They feel really good quality. They've got really sort of thick metal, thick aluminium build. But it's not heavy. They're not too heavy to use, and that's important as well.
Yeah, I think the main thing, kind of touching on that point you made, Tom, about how much you're using it. Like if you're doing a trip like we are for a year or more, you want, and you're using it day in, day out. Like if you get something which is maybe a bit cheaper, these are, they're not cheap for what they are. Like
they're not
£80,
cheap,
£90. If you're using it every single day in, day out, it's just nice to have something that's good quality, comfortable. Like you could easily spend £5-10 on a really rubbish.
You did that. You remember that? That first one.
I used a stool to start with. I didn't have a camping chair, so I used their footstool. But just having this is just so much. It's so nice and comfortable. Like it's worth the money if you're using it day in, day out. It's just perfect for this kind of situation.
And we thought initially, all the chairs will be the same. So we just bought some random ones from like Amazon or somewhere.
Yeah.
And they looked alright, to be fair, but they're the ones, the ones that kind of just fold together like that.
They're quite
like
long.
A big long thing.
Did they break?
And yes. And after like 3 uses, the kind of armrests, like the poles came out, and it was just not good.
Yeah.
So. And then we broke my mum's one as well.
Yeah. No, it's worth having something quality when it comes to where you're going to sit all the time. Awesome. Well guys, thank you so much for watching. That was our top 7 items that you should take overlanding. Please leave a like, subscribe to our channel to follow our continued adventure. Really helps us if you hit that button below. And leave a comment, let us know what you think of the products that we've shown today. None of this is sponsored, it's our true and real thoughts of what of the products that we really use. Thanks guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.